Ooh, Thai beef noodle soup, that classic street food bowl of deliciousness. Ah, this stuff is gold. So the real secret here, guys, is in the noodle soup broth. So we want to start off with a flavour paste that's going to make our soup extra special. So I'm going to start off with some coriander roots. Now this part of the coriander has heaps of flavour. Even if you don't love coriander, this is going to be like a real background flavour and just give some real sort of depth and umami to our soup. All right, now I also want some garlic and then a good few spoons of some black peppercorns. And I just want to make a rough paste here. Now you could also do this in a blender, but if you're doing it that way, just use ground black pepper because sometimes you won't get the whole peppercorns all ground up nice and fine. Okay, so this is the texture we're looking for. And already the smell of this paste is making me very hungry. So to start off with, we just need a little bit of oil so we can fry off our paste and get all the aromas and flavors going. And now I'm adding in my beef. I'm using chuck steak here, and that's got a little bit of fat and connective tissue running through it, so it means that we're going to get a really soft, tender piece of beef at the end of our slow cooking here. Okay, so now that we've got some good colour on that beef and I can smell that paste as well, I'm going to add in some more flavour. We want some star anise and a cinnamon stick, some soy sauce, some dark soy sauce for some beautiful colour, and some chicken or beef stock. Now bring that up to a gentle simmer, pop the lid on, and you want to let that bubble away and do its work for about an hour and a half. Now while that beef is simmering, you might just want to take a ladle and skim off any of the sort of bits and pieces that sort of rise up to the top there. Now I can see that that beef is beautifully tender and the smell of that broth is so amazing. Oh, I've been hungry for the last 90 minutes smelling that simmering away. Now what we want to do is find those whole spices that we put in there and just fish those out. And then I like to scoop out my beef pieces and just run a knife through them so they've got this really nice sort of pulled beef texture. That's the perfect texture, nice and soft. Tender. Now I'll just set that meaty goodness aside for later. So we are doing this Thai street food style, so I'm going to use some Asian beef balls, and then I just want some green vegetable as well, so I'm going to slice these into nice little pieces and I'll put that into the soup just to warm through. I like those vegetables to stay a little crunchy, so I just put them in at the end. Now I'm using what we call sen lek in Thai, and that is a thin rice noodle, and the best way to deal with these is to soak them in some just room temperature water for about 10 or 15 minutes until they're pliable and a little soft, and that way you can pull out the handful that you need, so about a handful per person, and then we just quickly blanch that in some boiling water. I find that doing the noodles this way keeps them from all clumping up and getting all sticky. And now the all-important taste test. I'm going to check my broth for some last-minute seasoning. That's such a deep, savoury flavour. That's really, really quite amazing that we've achieved that in only 90 minutes. Now I'm just going to add a little bit more fish sauce. So if you were eating this street side or in a restaurant in Thailand, you would have fish sauce and different seasonings at the table, but when I'm cooking this at home for family, I like to do the seasoning myself in the pot. That way I make sure everyone gets just the right balance of flavour. Okay, so these noodles are ready, and I'll just portion them out into my bowls. And now you want to scoop out some of those beef balls and those Asian vegetables, put that onto your bowl. And then I want a good handful of some of that braised beef. And now that beautiful broth. Now the final finishing touches, just a little bit of bean shoots on the top and some Thai basil as well. Make our soup extra special. So I'm gonna, oops, coriander first.